The other half of the chassis performance comes from Canadian supplier Multimatic in the form of aluminum-bodied spool valve dampers. Not only do they provide an elegant way to vary damping force, but the inverted struts with a ball-jointed top mount provide a means to get race car-like negative camber out of the front end. Together, the four dampers are about 23 pounds lighter than the ZL1 steel-bodied magnet or heliological dampers. The rear subframe and its multi-link suspension are isolated, if you want to call it that, from the body by rigid aluminum pucks instead of rubber bushings, and the rear anti-roll bar is adjustable to 3 positions. Locking down the rear end and firming up the front means you can feel every crack in the road, and even the slightest variation in lateral thrust, with clarity and precision. All these settings allow owners to fine-tune their cars to their home tracks. At Area 27, a 3.0-mile circuit in British Columbia designed by Jacques Villeneuve, we ran 40-plus laps in the 1LE. It was the iron rotor brakes, which carry over from the regular ZL1, and not the tires that kept us from turning more than 5 hot laps at a time. The pedal gets a little long on the 5th lap. Even so, few cars feel as stable while braking in corners as the 1LE. Throw a downshift in there, and the car never gets unsettled. In corners, the tires claw for grip like a cat scurrying up a tree. Where you expect understeer, you get a neutral car, and too much throttle on exit causes the rear end to step out, either gently if you finesse it or aggressively if you're being deliberately foolish. This Camaro will do a 0 to 60 miles per hour run in 3.5 seconds, all in first gear, mind you, with the 8-piece band blaring a Motown anthem. An 11.7-second quarter mile at 124 miles per hour is in the jukebox, too. That's just a couple tenths of a second off the ZL1 automatic's time. Some of the swiftness is a dividend of the 62 pounds saved manual to manual by the 1LE conversion, though it isn't quite enough to make up for the better and quicker shifting of the roughly 100-pound heavier automatic. While the chassis mods make for a fantastic track car, the 1LE's ride is a little jarring for daily use as its springs are 3 times stiffer than those of the ZL1. Matt Grace, Camaro's performance variant manager, admits that he wanted to make the car a bit more extreme by ditching the trunk lining, for example. But he was thwarted by GM product planners mindful of history, who desired a 1LE that was true to its Gen 3 Camaro roots as an add-on to the existing equipment, not a give-and-take option. Unlike the Gen 5 Z/28, this 1LE has all the features of the ZL1, including heated and ventilated front seats, a heated steering wheel, and an 8.0-inch infotainment display.